Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and this is the Type S-100 Arnie. Now, basically what you're looking at is the Berliet, just a little bit of a rebrand, a little bit of a rebadge, and it is running on console. So the gameplay that you are looking at right now was recorded straight from my Xbox Series X, and as of recording this video, this vehicle is available on all consoles on your console mod browser, and all you need to do in order to find it is go to your mod browser itself and either look up the name of the vehicle or sort by most recent updates. Now, I recommend sorting by most recent updates because the actual built-in search engine isn't all that great, but either way, those are two ways that you can find this truck on your mod browser. Now, we are currently on the Stadium Super Truck map to do a little bit of testing with it, and I'm going to show you guys not only how it functions, but we're going to talk about whether or not this truck would be useful in a full-on campaign scenario, because a lot of you guys that are going to be getting this thing on consoles for the first time really haven't gotten the chance to drive it yet and maybe don't know whether or not you're going to actually be able to use it in your campaign playthroughs. Now, me personally, I genuinely believe that you can use it. You just have to be careful what routes you take and where you put it and what roads you go down. Because if you go down the wrong road and you get it stuck, you're going to potentially run into some big issues with it. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into the build. Now, engine-wise, you're going to be starting with an A+ power-to-weight rating, which is really good for a truck of this size, and that's with the DE360TQ standard, and it says stock engine is only enough to work in average locations. Then you have the TDE410TQ upgrade, and I'm just now realizing that that's probably supposed to stand for torque, although at the same time, I would hope that this thing had an engine beyond, I would hope that the top engine was beyond 600, foot-pounds of torque. Maybe they're talking in a different measure of torque, I'm not sure. But either way, we're going to go ahead and go for the top engine. And then gearbox-wise, you have high range and off-road. Although it is worth noting that the high-range gearbox will allow you to move faster than a blistering 30 kilometers an hour. Yeah, that's not very fast. Not very fast at all. But once again, you got to remember the actual, size of the vehicle that you're dealing with. It's freaking massive. Now, as far as suspensions go, I actually recommend running the soft front, and the nice thing about the soft front is the fact that when you're going down rough roads and bumpy areas, it really does soak up a lot of those imperfections a lot better. And then tires-wise, you're going to be running a 90-inch tire on this thing, if that gives you any idea as to how big it actually is. And you have a highway compound, all-terrain compound, a off-road, a mud compound, and a chained compound. So you're really able to use this thing in just about any environment you want with little to no issues. So we're going to actually go with the mud compound, and then winch-wise, we've got the stock super heavy, and then snorkel-wise, we have three different options. 1, 2, and 3. I kind of like option 2 and option 3, but option 3 actually gives you a better view out the front if you're somebody that really likes to play in first-person view. Now, frame add-on wise, you have a medium log bunk, which should work just fine as long as you have the Free the Logs mod enabled. You also have a repair parts and spare wheel add-on, and just the repair parts as well. And then you also have a standard carriage, which is 3 units of cargo, and the experimental carriage, which is really, really cool. And if you want to know how that works, basically what it does is it allows you to load 3 units on one side of the bed and 3 units on the other side of the bed, and basically allows you to shift the cargo using the advanced functions menu. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate it in this video because I have demonstrated it in a separate video, but I do recommend experimenting around with this for yourselves. Now, the container carrier is really, really good solely for the objective of just carrying the containers, and I personally really do recommend the platform with ramp. I really, really do recommend it. It's really good. And not only is it really good, but it's really fun to use, actually, as a transport vehicle for maybe even if you have a mud truck you want to carry around, maybe if you have some scout vehicles you want to carry around. Either way, I highly recommend the ramped platform. Now, as far as the visual upgrades go, you got your front side fog lights, and that's about it, but they are removable if you so desire. Rooftop-wise, you have a visor, which once again is removable or installable at your own discretion. And then miscellaneous-wise, we can go ahead and also throw an air conditioner up there on the roof. Now, you have 3 different exhausts. You have number 1, 2, and 3. 3 is kind of interesting because it's literally 2 straight stacks that just go straight up out of the hood. And the second exhaust model I kind of dig because they both kind of come up at this curved angle, and I kind of like how it looks for some reason. You have 3 different wheel options, and I really do like all of them, although I think wheel option 1 is probably my favorite. Let me know what your favorite is in the comments down below. And of course, you have your full range of colors, and all of these are really well done, really good looking, and they're all like super vibrant, and they have a lot of nice texturing to them. And the texturing never really goes away or changes depending on what color you use. And I know it kind of does on some trucks, but on this thing, every single paint color is super bright, super vibrant, and honestly, they all look good on this truck. There's not really a bad paint color choice for this truck that you really just couldn't go wrong. Now, interior wise, we're gonna go ahead and throw beans on the dash, and accessories wise, you have flags, you have, oh my god, you have actually quite a few flags. Cargo flags, Cosmos flags, season flags, stickers. You have actually pretty much the entire catalog of stock stickers that you could throw on the dash wherever you wanted. And let's see, are there any other slots? Actually, yes, there are quite a few. Whoa, there's one on the seat. Whoa, that's kind of cool. I kind of dig that. We've got Take My Winch Alt, and we'll throw, let's see. Let's see. Oh, I think the train one. The train's pretty cool. Yeah, the train's really cool, actually. You have also a full collection of exterior stickers, if you so choose to go that route. Windshield stickers as well, and hood ornaments as well. So let's see about... Whoa! You've got a diesel logo, a gas turbine logo, and a turbo diesel logo. I'm going to go with the turbo diesel logo because I think that looks actually really cool on there. And now, we're going to go ahead and leave the garage and see how this thing actually performs on a console. So let's fire it up. The process of starting it is always a little bit time consuming. It's not necessarily the longest startup in the world, but it does take a minute and you do have to be patient with it. But my god, do I love this thing or what? It's one of my personal favorite mod projects to ever come across this game because at the end of the day, there are so many mods out there that do different things and serve different purposes, but this thing, oh my god, dude, this thing right here, you can do just about whatever you want with it right off the bat. And not only that, not only can you do just about whatever you want with it, but there are so many different uses for this truck. So real quick, we're going to actually go into the truck store and we're going to pick up another truck. We're going to pick up the Powerhouse. We're going to do a very quick build, and I say build very lightly because really all we're going to do is change the color, fire it up, and throw it on the back of the truck. God, it's loud. Ease it on up there. And boom. There you have it. Literally the ultimate hauler, the ultimate go anywhere, do anything hauler that you really will never have to worry about. You'll never have to worry about whether or not this thing can make it through something. And I think that's the other real draw of this truck because you'll never have to worry about whether or not it'll make it through something. You'll never have to worry about, whether or not it'll ford a river. The only thing that you really have to think about or quote unquote worry about with this truck is whether or not, the road that you're going down has enough space for it. Why didn't the ramp go up all the way? Oh, that's an odd bug. I've never seen that before. That's a little strange. I don't know why the ramp didn't go up all the way. That's a bit weird. Slight head scratcher on that one. But let's go ahead and take it straight into the mud and see what it's like. Oh my god. Oh my... Okay, yeah. I haven't driven this thing in a while, and it's actually, like I said, the first time I've driven it on consoles, and every time I drive it, every single time I drive it, it always impresses me. Always impresses me. Now, one of the other nice things about it is that even with its immense size, you can still run it in high with the diff lock on because the diff is locked all the time. So in the deeper stuff, I would probably recommend going for low or maybe even automatic because automatic first is about the equivalent of low with the higher speed box. But really, once again, immense power, immense torque, and immense capability for a truck this big. Most trucks of this size are pretty dang slow and not all that capable, really. They're not all that capable of taking on the amount of obstacles that this game has to offer, but this, you really could throw this into a campaign playthrough And it could be your dedicated heavy. It really could be your dedicated heavy for whatever you wanted, whether that's, you know, a rescue vehicle, a hauling vehicle, a support vehicle. There's really endless options and endless uses for this vehicle as a whole. Let's see real quick. There should be a line of Hummers over here. Y'all probably know where this is headed, but I really want to see what happens if we just head straight for that line of Hummers and don't let up. Oh boy. Well, that went well. Those Hummers were pretty inconsequential to us. Pretty dang inconsequential, I have to say. Now, the only area in the campaign that I would probably recommend not using this thing on is really the tighter trails of maybe the Yukon or maybe in Mandra, where you're going to have to run into a lot of different scenarios where the trails are tight and there's a lot of opportunities for you to fall off of ledges. This is not going to be good in those kinds of scenarios. This is not going to be good at all in those kinds of scenarios. But in any other kind of scenario, I mean, literally the sky's the limit. You're good to go there. Now, we're not going to do the entire obstacle course, obviously, because there are certain elements of the obstacle course that would really do this thing in. But there's one area that I'm actually kind of curious about. Let's see how it runs through this last section here with the rocks and the mud, because I think that will kind of accurately simulate what you might get into in a really tricky situation in a campaign map. So let's see what this thing can do. Wow. Well, that just walked right through that like it wasn't even there. Turn maybe, turn maybe. Yeah, I was a little iffy about making that turn. You have to remember how incredibly slow the steering is, because when you start to speed this thing up, the steering does not speed up with you in any way, shape, or form. It never does. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, yeah. Easy. Like, seriously, that just, I mean, it knocks it out of the park. Every single time you want to take this thing into an obstacle or a new obstacle, it knocks it out of the park. I wonder. Y'all probably know exactly what I'm thinking internally right now. Y'all probably know exactly what I'm thinking internally right now. Can this take both bridges? I won't be upset if it can't. I'm just really curious to find out. It's just a tad too narrow. Like, see, look at that. It fits perfectly in there because really once you get... Are you serious? I was like, there's no way. What? Okay, now it really is badly stuck. There's no way. I don't think I've ever gotten anything more stuck right here. I just wanted to see if it would even drive into that, let alone get stuck there. But with that being said, I highly recommend downloading this truck on your consoles, giving it a shot in both mod maps and campaign mode, and using it for really a whole variety of things. Whether you use the experimental hauling beds or you use this thing as solely a vehicle hauler or maybe a support truck, really it's all up to you. And you can also throw a high saddle on this thing and tow trailers with it, but I caution you with that because you're really going to have a gigantic rig that will be near impossible to turn around on some maps. So heed that warning or don't and figure that out yourself. But with all that being said, hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, make sure to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Hit that like button. And if you're new around here, do consider hitting that subscribe button and turning those notifications on. And I will see you guys next time.